Welcome back, everyone, to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. We are in here today in the podcast studio with Barry Moore, our CEO and President.
Hello, Evie.
Hello, Barry. And our wonderful guest today is Larry Roberts from the Sorensen Foundation, right?
Happy to be here. Yes.
The crowd goes wild.
Thank you for coming. I love days like today when we get to meet different people that come from different programs and organizations because we learn so much. Mm-hmm. Barry says I'm a sponge. I'm a constant learner. And he's very right about that. I love to do that. And I want people that are listening to the podcast to learn more about the people that we talk to as well. So tell me about the Sorensen program.
We are all about learning, adult learning, learning for high school students, college students. So we try to promote better leadership in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Everybody can be a leader. Public leader, a civic leader. So we have 4 programs, one for high school students, one for college students, one for young leaders in the first 10 years of their career, and then a program for successful leaders who want to broaden their perspective about the state, about public policy issues, how to be good civic and public leaders. So I can go into any detail, but that's basically what we do. We have about 2,800 alumni around Virginia and actually the country, and a lot of our alumni are in major positions in and outside of government.
Do you see, one of the things that we mentioned out there when we were learning more about the program was that you and Barry mentioned a couple of people that are in politics right now currently, and they conduct themselves very civil-like. Mm-hmm. They're very relaxed and composed, and they have really real discussions with people, and it's not like mudslinging like you said. Mm-hmm. How is it that you think the program has helped them be composed like that and understand what's going on the other side?
Yeah, so we have people from across the political spectrum in our programs, and we tell them we're not bringing you here to try to change your perspective, your party, your issue positions. What we're here to do is to help you learn how to have conversations with people who have different experiences than you do. So maybe they live in a different region, maybe they're in a different sector of the economy, maybe they're from a different political party. They may have a passion for an issue that doesn't particularly matter to you, or maybe you're on the other side of that issue. But there are ways to have conversations with people to move the ball forward and not just get mired in, political fights. 80% of the people want government to work. They want politics to work. They want their communities to be safe and sound. So we're here to help people figure out how to do those things constructively.
As an alumnus of the one program, that they have 4 different programs, but I attended in 13. And Larry, you can show on the camera there, that little pin. Mm-hmm. I don't have mine, but if you ever see that down at the General Assembly, you'll know they're a graduate of Sorensen. And I will answer to your question, Evie, and it's why the Ignite program. We listen to people, and when I went in and I had my strong beliefs in X, after 10 gatherings, they became friends and we listened to each other. I don't agree with a lot of them. The one thing we did learn, Rick Brown was the whatever his position would have been back then. We went to the General Assembly and had to do the budget, as you talked about this morning. That's an amazing process. When you got to fight for all these programs and all of us wanted to get our money for our cause, you had to negotiate and listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't get to have everything your own way. You have to find coalitions, and there are surprising coalitions. So we will find that people in Southwest Virginia feel that the way they're looking at issues actually resonates with people in major urban settings and vice versa. And there are ways to, share common values and find ways across the aisle, across regions to address major public policy issues. So you start from a place where you don't think you're going to have any agreement, and then you find out that, we share values, we share concerns. Are there ways that we can work together? So it's a pretty powerful experience, and we do go to 9 different regions of the Commonwealth in our adult learning program to learn about the state. Our high school program, the students come to Charlottesville and spend 2 weeks in a UVA dorm and go from about 7:30 in the morning till 10:30 at night and learn a ton about the state and how to present their perspectives in constructive ways. They do a major public policy project. We bring in experts to vet that project, and some of those projects have actually become state laws. So pretty excited about that.
That is, because they become the lawmakers. So, and that's what we're trying to explain to our staff today. And Larry, I think, articulated it very well. So he's doing a great job getting the word out. It's a growing program. After 32 years, it's going to keep going. It's not going to go away. Just like BBB, 113 years old, and Ignite only a year and 2 months so far.
Here, yes.
And we are accomplishing amazing, and love to see us working all together that we always want to keep doing and promoting each other. We're not in competition. We're trying to build the best Commonwealth. When the governor had that virtual interview last week or 2 weeks ago, we participated because of all the layoffs and 250,000 jobs. True leadership. Forget the party. It doesn't matter. We're looking for people to settle here in the Commonwealth. Just like I remember years ago, we wanted to keep military, once they retired, to stay in Norfolk and not move out of the Commonwealth. So we've worked a lot, and the politicians talk this through. And to learn that our friend Jason Mraz, as an attorney general, he's our friend, right? The Better Business Bureau and the attorney general in every state, we have to work hand in hand because we have zero power, but the attorney general has a bite. Mm-hmm. And so we give them trends and stuff, and we share. And he's been here. He'll be doing a podcast with us in a couple of weeks. And it's a big deal to work together with a Sorensen grad, which I didn't even know about. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. And if you want to go over a couple of your alumni real quick.
Yeah, so we have had, I think, 5 or 6 members of Congress, 2 current, Jennifer Kiggins from Hampton Roads and Jennifer McClellan from the Richmond area. And while they vote with their party most of the time, I think people view them as people who are trying to work constructively with all their constituents, whether they voted for them or not, and also to try to advance the interests of the Commonwealth. So we view them as people who are working in ways that we're pleased to know that they come from Sorensen. 20% of the General Assembly in Virginia are Sorensen alumni, so 1 out of every 5 legislators in Virginia. And I don't have the data to back this up, but I believe anecdotally that 20% actually works better with other colleagues than some of the folks that haven't had the advantage of Sorensen. So we've got the chair of the Board of Supervisors in Loudoun, Fairfax, Fluvanna, the mayor of Norfolk, the most recent mayor of Alexandria, so sort of across the Commonwealth, 3 members of the Richmond City Council. So it's a broad swath of people, and it's not just about people in elective office, though, too. We're really trying to help people become good leaders in whatever that way that is, as a business owner, as a nonprofit advocate, as a community activist. We want people to one of our alums is now the chair of the board of the Virginia School Board Association. I mean, the people are all over doing good work.
Chris Lindsay, right, COO of the Department of Health.
Yep.
And I will say here, because this is BBB Sharing, Barry Moore, alumnus of the program, is correct, is probably the best leader ever in the nonprofit world, would you say?
I have to agree with that. I have to agree.
Larry, you see how this works?
Not just in Richmond, but not just in America, but globally. I think the Barry F. Moore brand is a
it's alive and well.
Well-known one, yeah.
And Larry and I, we just found out, grew up about 15 minutes apart from each other. He's a little younger than me, but small world. And I remember going to Princeton University playing football in the 70s on the front lawn, where I don't think parents do that anymore. But my parents dropped me off in Princeton, and 8 hours later, we go to the ice cream shop on Nassau Street and everything, play football with some of these college kids on the lawn, and it was a ball.
I didn't have a chance to tell you out there, but for a while, Cranberry was sending its students to Lawrence High School.
My brother went there.
Which is the high school.
Were you born? We won't talk about it on air.
We won't talk about
My
that.
brother was born in 63, though. He went to Lawrence High with Alvin Bethea's brother. They played football. Yeah. I don't know if that's when you were there, but my brother did go.
So I will say this. I grew up in New Jersey, but I moved to Virginia 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And in about 300 years, if I'm still alive, I will finally be considered a Virginian.
Well, you're a Southern gentleman compared to me. I'm still a hardcore Yankee. Everybody says that. Selling cars all these years, I could never lose it. But we're at 10 minutes, so Evie, why don't you give them, you always stump people right at the end, so why don't you give Larry like a really twisted question?
Well, it's something I think about often. And I ask Barry, we always go over and over and over again, the why. And I say, why can't people just put themselves in other people's shoes to really understand what's going on? And that's coming from a very opinionated person like myself. So, which Barry knows. But what is the difference in the conversations that you see at the beginning of the program and at the end that people are having with each other?
Yeah, it's I think most people would say transformative. The ability. Look, I think part of the reason people have trouble having conversations now is that so many people feel insecure in whether it's their work or public safety concerns or their health. You know, we're just in a time when people are feeling insecure kind of generally. And so it's hard when you're in that position to say, you know what, I really want to understand what it's like to be in somebody else's shoes, because being in your own shoes is hard enough. So, you know, what we see over time is that, you know, people do understand the value of learning somebody else's perspective and how it can benefit their lives. So ultimately, it's a selfish interest in getting to learn how to engage with people from all walks of life.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, doing the podcast with us, and talking to the BBB team and learning about Ignite.
So
yes.
Sees it.
Everybody, make sure if you do they have two programs. That's for young adults. So you have the high school program and then you have the college program. So young adults that are out there kind of looking to be leaders in civil aspect or in the public aspect or even in private sectors, please make sure to look up the Sorensen program. I think it'll be an amazing experience.
Sorenseninstitute.org.
Perfect. I was going to say, how can people get in contact with you? Please make sure if you are listening to the podcast on Spotify, give us a follow and share it out. If you're listening and watching it on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share it. And of course, comment down below to help the algorithm out. Thank you.
And we have give.org coming up next week.
March 25th, give.org is coming in. Just make sure to email me, eCarageorge@richmond.bbb.org if you'd like to come. It's going to be great. Learn to figure out where your money is going when you donate, and make sure to go to accredited nonprofits.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks, Larry.
Appreciate it.